Welcome to another episode of Barman Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Magic Gift of the Snowman. You might be like, why are you talking about a Christmas movie, in the middle of April? I mean, isn't that a bit weird? I mean, it's not December or anything. That's usually when you gotta time your Christmas movies, You gotta put it in the right time of year. Well, my counter is it snowed last Sunday. And for this area, that's pretty bizarre, okay? I mean, at this point, it's getting to be like where it's like the low 40s in the morning when I get up. And by the time I get off work, it's going to be in the upper 50s, low 60s. And we've even been hitting the 70s, at times. So the fact that there was snow last Sunday is really weird, okay? I guess we got to thank Obama for not stopping, global warming, or climate change as they prefer to call it. Just causing all kinds of weird weather issues. Thanks, Obama. Then they left us with Trump, and he's just making it worse. Ugh. It's terrible. It's a problem that needs to be solved. I don't want any more snow in April. What's next? It's going to start snowing in July? Do I have to worry about people trying to celebrate Christmas in July now? Like in that Ed, and Eddie episode? They're probably going to try to swing me on my jawbreakers, those little kids, just be like, it's Christmas in July, you gotta have jawbreakers. Like, you can't have my jawbreakers. I've been saving those for a while now, because they don't sell them anymore at Walmart on the cheap. So, I got an old bag just sitting up there on my dresser, just waiting to be eaten. Not sure when I'm going to get around to it. Probably should get to that at some point, because they're getting old. Though I don't know if there's really an expiration date on jawbreakers, especially ones wrapped up. Probably not. But as far as the film itself goes, despite what you might initially think, it's a Frosty the Snowman knockoff, honestly, this movie has nothing to do with Frosty the Snowman whatsoever. Instead, our setup is that Emery Elizabeth, the girl shown on the front here, is really sick and needs a wheelchair to get around, and she's basically, got a couple days left to live if she doesn't start getting better, according to the doctor. She's like, if she doesn't get better by Christmas, she's probably not gonna make it. Like, oh, that's sad. So her brother Lanny comes in, he's like, I got it. Like, I'll make a cool friend for her named Snowden, the Snowman, because he's cool. Real cool. Cool as ice. Yeah, they basically make that joke. At least it's not as bad as when they, decide to bust out the, I like it. Like, seriously, we're making a reference to a song from 1975 in a movie from 1995? Just let it go, people. And no, I'm not going to make a reference to Frozen just because I said those words. Because seriously, you need to let it go. Besides, it'd probably drive one of my coworkers nuts because their grandkids just love to sing that song for weeks on end. And they would actually talk about it at work, saying they just would not stop it. So they'd sometimes try and make fun of them by singing Let It Snow. Just to get them, a bit agitated. You gotta troll, the grandkids every now and again, I suppose. But yeah, basically Land's like, I gotta help my sister out the only way I know how. I need to, get her to do stuff, in order to hear me tell this story about my and her adventures with Snowden, in a magical land ruled by Princess Electra, who's featured here on the back of the box, with the red hair. She's got a magical smile, so, it keeps all the kids in her kingdom happy, because there's no adults in, the magical land ruled by Princess Electra. I honestly think that's meant to be a reference to probably Electra, the superhero, somewhat, just because of the red, because that's how Electra's outfit's colored. I mean, it may not be. I mean, I think if it is there, it's subtle. I mean, obviously, it'd be more likely to be intentional, the whole Snowden line with a whole Snowden thing, right? Because let's face it, made in 1995 means Edward Snowden wasn't even a thing yet, at all. So, yeah, the choice of name there seems to have become an unintentional reference to, a famous person. Ironically, maybe, I guess. I don't know if irony really applies there, but yeah, really strange. Though I suppose you could argue it's ironic considering, Edward Snowden's basically stuck in Russia after that whole leaking secret documents from the U.S. government. I can't believe I'm talking about that in a film, about a sick girl and her adventures with a magic snowman, but still. Guy's named Snowden. I couldn't help it. So yeah, Landon basically is like, if you want to hear the story, you got to eat your breakfast, you got to eat your dinner, you got to take your afternoon nap so you feel a bit stronger, so you're up to listening to me talk about the story, before bedtime. And then, of course, he'll stop telling the story at a certain point. He's like, well, it's getting late, you need to go to sleep, and I'll continue the story, tomorrow morning, not tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, if you are good for me. So, yeah, basically trying to keep her thinking positive thoughts and distract her, from her feeling sick and weak and helpless. So, yeah, good big brother moment, I suppose. Though it does get rid of everyone's, calls her by her full, name, um, Emery Elizabeth all the time. I'm just like, why can't you just call her Elizabeth for short? Why you have to constantly call her Emery Elizabeth? I mean, that sounds like, a first and middle name. It's a bit strange, you don't usually call someone by their first and middle name when you're talking to them, at all. Not to mention, if they're siblings, it's not exactly unheard of to sometimes just refer to them as, brother or sister or something, right? I mean, I have 2 younger brothers, so it's not unheard of for me to refer to them as, my youngest or younger brother when talking about them, with other people. And maybe not even addressing them by name when I go up to talk to them, because, let's face it, don't really need to do that when you know someone very well, right? But yeah, as far as the adventure itself goes, well, they decided to give Emery Elizabeth a magical power. She can turn her wheelchair into any device with wheels. So, airplanes, helicopters, trains, cars. We don't get a car, but I imagine if they had done it, it would have been a hot rod of some kind. Instead, we got a horse at one point with wheels for feet. It was disappointing. I would have preferred something cooler. Like another train. A train with a face on it. But no. We had to get a horse. A horse for the force. It's a sad day. But as far as the adventure itself goes, they have to go save Queen Electra's smile because it's been stolen by the world's greatest charlatan. It looks a bit like the Crypt Keeper, to be honest. Though as soon as I heard him being referred to, I feared, it was going to be Donald Trump. I don't know, I guess I just associate the man with charlatans nowadays. Very, very heavily in my mind. Others may not agree with me, but that's not the point. But yeah, the guy is obviously evil. He's the Lord of Yuck, who basically takes everything nice and melts it down to just yucky ooze and spreads it everywhere. Because, everywhere has to be horribly yucky as far as he's concerned. Because he's the Lord of Yuck. And, of course, he's defeated by, Elizabeth just getting a hold of the box he trapped, Princess Electra's smile and just opens it on him, and just flashes him with a smile right in his face. He then knocks a bunch of chemicals and stuff over, starts a fire, and then burns to death right on screen. I mean, we don't get anything really graphic, but he died. And, since, a whole fire started there, Snowden basically has to stay there and melt, to keep the fire away from the door so Landon and Elizabeth can escape to safety. And we end up with the having, well, at least Electra's gotten her smile back, and all the kids are happy again, and the great evil's been defeated. And it does seem like Snowden has some magic powers, despite being put together by Landon, considering we see him, in a small snow globe dancing at the end of the movie, so apparently, Snowden's powers are not a joke. He really is a magic snowman. But yeah, it's a pretty solid movie, considering the people behind it, are known for basically making knockoffs of Disney movies and other big studios films in order to basically get a slice of the pie, as it were. Sort of like when you look at something like The True Story of Puss in Boots. Though, to be fair to that one, it obviously was not meant to be a knockoff. It was imported by people trying to use it as a knockoff in order to get a slice of the pie from people trying to get, Puss in Boots, based on the Shrek version of Puss in Boots. So, at least this is a rather original work as far as I'm aware. So, it's got that going for it. And like I said, it's a pretty solid film overall, and it's probably something you should watch, if you're looking for a new Christmas movie to enjoy. I do think it's a bit ridiculous that happy thought can defeat disease itself, but, positive thinking can allow you to survive a lot longer if you have, a venereal disease that will kill you over time, because, being stressed out and thinking negative thoughts does, wheedle away at your life somewhat, it appears. You gotta be happy and keep thinking those positive thoughts, I suppose. Till next time, then. See ya.
Anything with wheels, anything with wheels, anything with